Hey guys, first of all, Happy New Year. A little bit of an announcement, real quick. I've had an identity crisis in the last months. Like, where do I put my trade recaps? Because I don't want to upload a trade as a video. Like, each trade I take a video. So I decided to keep the videos on this channel, not on my second channel, but I'm only gonna do a quarter recap. So once a quarter, I'm gonna upload a video covering all my trades of the quarter. And that's just the most convenient for me, and I think that's also prevents me from spamming videos at you, like one trade, one video. That just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. So let's go over Q4. I'm gonna leave out the trades that I already covered on YouTube, so it's only gonna be from 31st of October to the end of the year. And let's jump right in. So this is the first trade we cover. This is AUD USD. We see that we are coming into a nice demand zone here after sweeping this as an inducement, filling the gap, coming lower, sweeping this as inducement. We end up mitigating the extreme of this 4-hour demand here. And as we can see, New York session, nice bearish open. So this is what we want to see, a slow, low momentum move down first to open the session to trick everybody into maybe bears continuing. And then we have a nice push at a key time window just before 10 a.m. That's very nice. We get a strong push out, first fair value gap, second leg, second fair value gap. We close above here, so we have a close break of structure. Beautiful stuff here as a reaction from this demand. So I decided, once we mitigated and had a little rejection here, I just decided to market execute, and that's what I did. And we have initially a nice push out, coming higher, and then we were chopping around for quite a bit. And I decided, even though it was 12, I decided to give it room to to sweep these inducements and then come higher. But ultimately, we just closed there and failed to come higher. So because it was so late in the day, I didn't want to give it room or time to mitigate this here, if this is the inducement, because I was just thinking, if this would be the session's move, it would have picked up already more. So it ended up being a break even, and this will lead us into the next trade. So this is Euro USD, and we can see here on the 4-hour that we had a nice sweep of the inducement here, tapping into these big fair value gaps. So I like this. But it had a little bit of a catch here on the high time frame, because if you see this as the price leg, yes, this was in a nice premium position, but if you see the overall daily price leg, this is still in discount. So it's a sale from discount on the daily, from the daily perspective, but on the 4-hour perspective, this was a premium. So a little bit down to how you interpret it, but I still think it's set up nicely. We have again the fake bull move to open the session, and then we find strong bear momentum. We have a first leg, then the demand fails here. We have a second leg closing under the demand, so this is nice. Then we see, no, is this going to be an inducement or not? And it's not, because we still fail, we come lower. The 3 strong legs putting almost exact equals in here. Then we came up, and I didn't like that we had this huge bull candle here. So we have a close break of structure here again for the bulls. But what I liked is that we instantly came down and closed in the fair value gap here again. So I thought, okay, bears are probably going to continue here. And once we had this little rejection in the fair value gap, I decided to enter. And then the nightmare began, because this trade was just playing mad games, man. And this is where I should have probably closed that once it rejected here, but I decided to I was kind of like not knowing what to do, because this never happened to me before, to be like stuck forever in this kind of drawdown without it ever hitting stop loss or going to break even. This was new for me, to be honest. And so I was a little bit paralyzed, and I just was gonna, yeah, I already accepted the loss basically, and I just couldn't close it. So yeah, I actually took a full loss on here. And yeah, I was just wrong on this one, and that's it. So right on the next day, this is just one day after the other EU trade, we had another beautiful setup. We get again the bullish open, and then we have the sweep of the top here, and then we have a first leg closing under the structure, second leg closing under the structure. So a double close below previous structure points. So it was a nice bearish flip, to be honest. And look at the 4 hour here. We have this inducement high being swept, but also this inducement high being swept. And just above, we have this nice fair value gap sitting. And we just tapped right into it. First reaction fake, second reaction close, and the real move started. So this was looking very promising to me. And this is why I took the short immediately when we came into this fair value gap of the second leg. I just market executed. And this was just one day after the nightmare trade that, yeah, as you could see before, right, that made me suffer a lot. So I was like a little bit more careful, and I just wanted this because it was already 12. Then I just closed it for break even because it was also Friday, and Friday late moves are normally not so likely. Like I would have liked to see this trade work quickly so that I can manage it down here or something. But it was just too late for it to sit at break even for a Friday. So I decided to close it. Also being a little bit not salty, but like I still felt the trade before. And this is what made me close it a little bit more early than I would normally typically do. And normally you don't get punished for that because it's just not so likely, these moves that are super late on Friday. But as you can see, what do? We sweep the top inducement here. This is the top inducement. We just sweep it and then we absolutely melt, man. And this trade would have actually almost hit TP before the weekend. And then on Monday or Sunday night, whatever, it would have hit full TP. So I'm a little bit cheesed. It's a part of the game, guys. Like, I don't think it's wrong to go break even here. I could have easily also give it another 2 hours, wait until 2 p.m., which I normally often do, but this time I didn't. And this time I got destroyed for it, so to speak, because if I would have held that until 2 p.m., I could have easily just went break even, and then I would have probably closed it just before market close. So around here for like 1 hour. So I gave away 1 hour here, but it's all hindsight, and in the end, it's still not wrong to go break even here. So actually I took a tiny loss here, but that's okay. Like, it's just these nuances, right? Like, in the first half of the year, all these little nuanced decisions, they were all leading to a better outcome for me. I was always like kind of on the lucky side of things. And now in the latter half of the year, I'm just a little bit more like it's evening out, you know, like all these little decisions right now are biting me, but it's just luck equaling out, you know. There's gonna be times where you close this and then instantly loses, then you let it run and it instantly melts. It's to some extent hindsight. I still think it was okay to manage it like that. Yes, I could have given it a little more time, but no black and white, you did this wrong here, you closed too early. You know, it's like tendencies and everything. So it's okay. Let's move on to the next one. So here we are 10 days after the last trade. We are still on Euro US dollar, and we have another nice setup. As you can see, we are in the extreme of this demand here. Let me just draw it out real quick. So this is a demand, and we are at the extreme of it. We swept this as inducement, fully closed the fair value gap. So we have a beautiful reaction on the 4 hour, and we have again the bearish open that we want to see. And we have a meaningful time of day. This is normally a time of day, like just after 10, where you don't often see traps anymore. Like, I wouldn't expect this to be a trap because of the time of day and because of how the whole day was going. Like, this opening bearish and everything, this looked to me more like the trap. Like, we're bearish. Okay, so everybody just keeps selling. Trend line above here, crazy trend line. So I was confident that this is going long. And we have a beautiful push out here, big fair value gap, bears and bulls take over control with close break of structure here. Let me just see the M15. I think it was it was also a decent M15 close here within the fair value gap. It closed, so I like that. And then we pushed down, mitigated the fair value gap, and had a nice bullish candle and rejections down here in the fair value gap. So this is where I decided to just jump in and execute, targeting London high. And let's see how this trade went. We actually had a beautiful second push, close above all these structure points. So that was nice. Next push out, this trade was looking very well. But then again, we started just messing around. It got late. And so I decided to actually just call it. I didn't want this to happen again, where it just most likely trickles down again, like the last day. So I just wanted to bank some profits, make sure my drawdown stays under control, and climb back out of it. I was in a little bit of drawdown at this point. And so I just wanted to bank this. Didn't really trust it to mitigate this and then go higher. So this is also something that I think, now that I had a nice holiday and just rested, I think in that case I would have let this run and give it more time, because this is a clear inducement level. This can get swept and then it breaks higher. So yeah, a little bit of lack of patience or trust holding the setups. But yeah, still, I wouldn't say this is completely mismanaged or whatever. It's just a little bit more careful, I would say, and just making sure to bank some base hits. Not every trade has to be a home run. So again, I think you see the fatigue here in me a little, but it's also not completely dead wrong what I did here. So let's see how this actually played out. I don't really remember. So I obviously banked some profits here. And then you see it's like already past 2 and we are sitting barely at break even. So this would have been a nice, this lack of momentum would have been the ultimate proof. I think if I would have been in this trade still, I would have closed it around here with this chop or after this rejection, because this is the final nail in the coffin. Like, does this look to you like it's gonna rip up? Like, certainly not. It's just building liquidity to come lower. So I think even if I would have held it, I would have closed it around here for a tiny profit. And again, this was just a trade that didn't really fully work out. Let's actually see what happened to this, because it didn't stop me out here. I don't remember the final outcome of this one. So this is already in the next day. Yeah, just playing mad games, and then ultimately would have hit my stop loss. But yeah, I think it's okay to manage like that, but I could have easily held it a little longer and closed it here instead. So let's jump to the next one. So this is again 8 days later. We are still on Euro US dollar. This was my favorite pair, certainly last quarter. And we are again in a nice demand area here. As you can see here, we have a nice demand and we are mitigating it to the extreme. Actually, yeah, now that I updated the trading view, you can see what big of a rejection that was. That was looking just beautiful on the 4 hour. We rejected right out of there. And you can see how we kind of chop up. Yes, it's steep, but it's still balanced and kind of choppy. And then we get the super strong push down. And I actually decided to just market execute here because I've seen what I wanted to see. We have a nice steep trend line here as well to break. So for me, it was all stars aligned. Nice reaction out of there. Super strong push down, close below. Good to go. So this time I didn't wait for any retracements or whatever. I just wanted to be in this good trade. And so I market executed. Then we came back up, then melted back down. So this trade was looking nice. We have our second leg that I often wait for to enter. This time I executed more aggressively, but we got it. So this was looking very promising. And then we had a spontaneous 12 p.m. news announcement that was not in the news calendar. And I'm actually lucky that I didn't go break even at this point. So basically this just rocketed up and then rejected, and then I decided to close it somewhere here for a little bit of profit. If I would have had gone break even already, it would have probably slipped me until here for a tiny loss. So yeah, lucky, but also unlucky that again the news that just randomly appear just go absolutely against me. And that's just the trend recently. That's why my equity curve was so steep again in the first half of the year, because all the little things went into my favor, and in the second half it's just the other way around. things balance out. It is what it is. Tiny profit could have been, I think without that news, I was confident that this is probably gonna hit TP, but it is what it is. It's okay. We move on to the last trade. So, welcome back to EU again. So this was 9th of December, my last trade of the year. And we have a nice setup again. And it's the same thing as every time, right? We have the inducement sweep here. And we have a nice mitigation of a 4-hour demand that ultimately led to a higher high. So a high quality demand level on the 4-hour as our trade basis on the higher time frame. Lower time frame. So this was a more aggressive setup. As you can see, we have not even had a break of structure here on the M5. And let me actually see, I think I also based this on the M3. Yes, I remember, that's why I journaled it like this. This is the time frames that I used for Confluence, minus HTF. I never put the HTF in there. So on the M3, you can see actually that this is a high in the market. Then we clearly close above it. Nice big fair value gaps here. And this is what ultimately led me to taking this trade, even though on the M5 this was basically nothing structure-wise. I still think my intuition told me that this is just looking good, and I wanted to take this trade. So I waited for this rejection here on the M3. I was sitting on the M3 primarily, and then just market executed once this candle here closed on the rejection. First, we got a little bit of a scare. Price absolutely melted down. But we get a push out. So this was nice to see. And then ultimately, price started stalling here again. And I was reminding myself, how often did this happen to me this year? That price just stalls in a little bit of profit. But the momentum here is clearly on my side. We now have the close break of structure also on the M5 here. So we have a change of character bullish. We have a nice strong leg out. Second leg, closing higher. Strong momentum. This is choppy. So at this point in time, I was thinking, okay, this time let's finally do what I did all year, giving price a little bit more time. So what did I do? I just went break even because, look, I have this inducement level, I have this inducement level, I have this inducement level, and I'm still not break even. Like, price has so much room to move here and then come higher. So I was happy with just going break even here and just letting it do its thing. But again, this is just not the easiest quarter for me. All the little things go against me. So also this trade came back and deeply retested and took me out for break even, and then just essentially failed. Let's just see how that played out, because I don't remember. So this is already in the next day Asia session, so it's like so late. It would be kind of weird to just hold that unmanaged, obviously. It's just stalling forever. That's actually crazy. Let's just make a little box so that we can see where our position is. So this would have actually hit TP, and then right after would have melted, absolutely melted. That's the power of liquidity sweeps, guys. Look how it would have just tagged me out and then just absolutely melted. It's not a coincidence. But again, I think it's pretty degenerate to hold it that hard because there's nothing in price really suggesting that anybody is in control. It's just accumulating forever. And this could have easily induced, look how much clearance we have here to the downside. This could have easily been induced another time, and then it rips or it just fails. So overall, I think it was correct to manage it like that. It's just, again, all the little things right now are going against me, but still, even though I feel like everything goes against me, at least I'm in a break-even phase and not giving anything back. So I'm very grateful for this year. We had a crazy run up until here. All year was basically drawdownless. Like, my biggest drawdown was 2R, which is ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. How can you have a max drawdown of 2R? By the way, this is just referring to my day trading. In swing trading, this first Q was catastrophic. This is why I stopped. But now that I decided that I'm only going to be a day trader, I'm obviously just focusing on my intraday stats here. So just to be transparent about this. But yeah, as you can see, even after this crazy push, most traders would expect, rightfully so, a pullback. But I didn't even have a pullback in my equity curve. I just stalled for some months, which is obviously not ideal, but it's certainly better than a deep drawdown. So I'm happy for that, and I hope that now, after being break even for some months, that we're gonna finally see that next push out. So that's the goal for Q1 for 2026. And I'll keep you updated. End of the Q, early Q2, you're gonna see the results of Q2, of Q1, and yeah, hopefully we see that little spike higher. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, as always, shoot me in the comments. I'm happy to help you. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.